Warning? Spoilers for House of the Dragon Episode 6. The Princess and the Queen in future episodes. Vermax is more than just another dragon in House of the Dragon, because the fire-breathing beast bonded to Joffrey's Valerian, Leo Hart, sets up a Game of Thrones theory about the Starks of Winterfell and the tragedies to come in the Dance of the Dragons. House of the Dragon Episode 6, The Princess and the Queen, brings the story forward 10 years to an insoluble point of hostility between Joffrey's mother, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, Emma Darcy, and Queen Alicent Hightower, Olivia Cook. Meanwhile, young Prince Jace further bonds with his dragon, Vermax, as House of the Dragon establishes its fascinating family dynamics. House of the Dragon Episode 6 leaves no doubt that the father of Rhaenyra's three sons, Joffrey, Lucerys, Harvey Sadler, and the infant Joffrey, is not Rhaenyra's husband, Sir Laenor Valerian, John Macmillan. All three Valerian boys have dark hair unlike their parents, and it's clear their real father is Sir Harwin Breakbones Strong, Ryan Core. The identity of Jace, Luke, and Joffrey's real father is the worst-kept secret in Westeros, and Queen Alicent is understandably tormented by the fact that if Rhaenyra ascends to the Iron Throne, she could put her own children with King Viserys, Paddy Considine, to death because of the threat they pose to her claim. Joffrey would become Prince of Dragonstone and heir to the Iron Throne if Rhaenyra becomes queen, and his dragon, Vermax, would be able to defend Jace's claim as they both get older. Vermax hatched from a dragon's egg and bonded to young Jaehaerys during the missing 10 years of House of the Dragon, and Episode 6 shows that the growing dragon indeed follows the prince's instructions. At this point in House of the Dragon, Jace is not yet 10 years old, and Vermax is still too small to ride, but that time will eventually come. When Prince Joffrey and Vermax grow older, their roles in House of the Dragon will become much more significant, as they both have instrumental roles to play in the upcoming Targaryen civil war between Rhaenyra and Alicent, dubbed the Dance of the Dragons. In addition, Vermax has a curious connection to the Starks of Winterfell that could be explored more in House of the Dragon, after only being fleetingly hinted at in Game of Thrones. How Vermax connects to the Winterfell dragon theory. Warning? Spoilers below for Fire and Blood and future House of the Dragon episodes. Winterfell is the ancestral stronghold of House Stark in the north, and the castle is built atop hot springs that provide warmth crucial to the Stark's survival for generations. However, there have long been rumors that a dragon lives in the crypts beneath Winterfell, providing the heat for the springs. This is derived from the fact that the other locations of hot springs in the known world, such as Old Valyria, were tied to dragons. Game of Thrones never really addressed a dragon underneath Winterfell theory on the TV show, and the stories come from, but are not resolved, in George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire novels. In future House of the Dragon episodes, after King Viserys dies, Rhaenyra and Alicent will go to war over the Iron Throne. The Queen will install her firstborn son with Viserys, Aegon Targaryen, Tom Glyn Carney, as king, while Rhaenyra will press her claim as Viserys' named heir. Joffrey will fly Vermax to the Eyrie, White Harbor, and Winterfell to secure support from the north for Rhaenyra. In Fire and Blood, Mushroom, one of the unreliable narrators, claims that Vermax will leave a clutch of dragon's eggs at Winterfell, which is where the theory is partly derived about a dragon beneath the Stark's castle. However, Vermax is a male dragon, which likely debunks this theory. What happens to Vermax and Joffrey in the Dance of the Dragons? Warning. Spoilers below for Fire and Blood and future House of the Dragon episodes. House of the Dragon Episode 6 laid the foundation for an upcoming conflict with the Triarchy, which is resurgent in the years after Prince Daemon Targaryen, Matt Smith, and House Valerian won the Stepstones by killing the crabfeeder, Daniel Scott Smith. A decade later, the Triarchy again plagues the Narrow Sea, bolstered by its alliance with House Martell of Dorne. As House of the Dragon continues, Joffrey and Vermax will get personally involved in the war against the Triarchy, and it will lead to the prince and his dragon's tragic undoing. When the war against the Triarchy intensifies later in House of the Dragon, Jacaerys and Vermax will join House Valerian in a devastating sea battle dubbed the Battle of the Gullet. Jace will lead a team of dragon riders against the Triarchy, but the sailors from Essos also have experience fighting dragons, thanks to Daemon and his mount, Caraxes. Jacaerys will meet his doom against the Triarchy after Vermax flies too low and crashes into the sea, possibly because he was wounded by the Triarchy's crossbolts. Jacaerys will also perish thanks to the Triarchy, which is how Fire and Blood describes the death of Rhaenyra's firstborn son. How Jacaerys and Vermax will perish in House of the Dragon remains to be seen. House of the Dragon airs Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on HBO and streams on HBO Max.